Why is it that sometimes when we reach our goal, when we get that thing we want, we still don't feel good? We don't feel happy like we thought we were going to feel. We don't feel that joy. This has been my life so often. I worked so hard for something and then I got it and I wasn't even that excited. I became a stand-up comedian and I was like, this is it? I became the executive producer of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And I thought, how come I don't feel better? And I always told myself the lie that I'm just not somebody who's satisfied. I need to work more and higher and keep climbing that ladder because I'm an ambitious person and I like challenges. The truth is that I didn't really want to stop, because if you stop and slow down, you have to hear the thoughts in your head. I didn't want to look in the mirror because I was afraid of what was going to be reflected back to me. And it doesn't mean it was going to be a bad thing. I just feared so much of looking internally because I was afraid of the pain. And fear can motivate us sometimes to achieve great levels of success. Fear sometimes can limit us, but fear can also really push us hard towards a goal that we then achieve. But if you're not okay on the inside, if you don't do the inner work, if you don't feel good enough, if you don't feel secure, if you don't feel like you're successful internally, then there's no amount of external success that's going to do the job. Trust me, I had it. I had people coming up to me and telling me, oh my God, you're amazing. You're the best producer. Can't believe how talented you are. You're a genius, all these things. And boy, did I eat it up. My ego loved it. But it did not make me feel joy. It did not stop the voice in my head that was telling me that all these things that people were telling me were lies. And the only way that I was really going to prove that I in fact was good enough was by having continued success. I couldn't be loved unless I was holding the trophy, unless I had an Emmy Award in my hand, unless I was producing a successful show, unless I was killing at a stand-up comedy show, unless I was hitting a 400-foot home run. All of it was because I cared about what people were saying back to me, instead of being happy with the process, being happy with just getting up on stage and doing stand-up comedy. I wasn't living in the moment. I was living for the result. That's the difference. You can be successful and be happy. You really can. You can have joy externally, internally. You can have success on both sides. But if you're chasing joy, if you're trying to fill that void inside, and you think that reaching some mountaintop is going to fill that void, it will not. Trust me. I've worked with so many different celebrities who they thought reaching fame and fortune would give them everything they wanted and would fill that void. It would get rid of the pain. And I would see these people when I was working with them and go, how can you be unhappy? You got it all. You're rich. You're famous. People do everything for you. You got this great family. You're on television. What could be wrong? And it was because they hadn't felt okay on the inside before they got that stuff. They thought getting that stuff was going to do it, and it didn't. And then they were really devastated. And that's why they lash out sometimes, because then they realize, oh, this didn't work, so what's going to work? And then they go for more, 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 more. And we live in a more, 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 more culture because we're all chasing, feeling that something's off. So many of us feel stuck. We feel like we can't feel joy. And it's because we're not spending any time with ourselves. We're not willing to look in that mirror. And you have to look in the mirror. You have to see the reflection back at you. And hopefully you like what you see, but if you don't, you got to go to work. Why don't you like it? Is it true? Is what you're seeing true, or are you making up a story? Is it an old voice from a critic from when you were younger that's still kicking around up there? If it is, you got to do the work. You got to do the work through journaling or meditating or spending time in nature or working with a coach. That is how you get to joy. I've worked with so many people who came to me with this exact complaint. I don't know why I'm not happier. I have everything. I got a great family. I got a great job, great business, all this money. I don't know why I'm not happy. What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. That's what you need to realize. There is nothing wrong with you. Stop thinking there is. And do the work. The fact that you think something is wrong with you is part of the problem, because there isn't. We're all okay just the way we are. We're all doing the best we can. You find joy by slowing down and listening to your thoughts, by being in the present moment, not by chasing external success.